everyone, welcome back to Paper Craft Possibilities. First, I wanted to apologize for being gone for a little while. My husband and I are struggling through some health issues, so I'm back at it and I'm looking forward to being in the craft room today. Today we're going to be using some of my new tools, my new fun toys from Stampin' Up. I've got this set here called Trusty Tools. I'm going to be working with this awesome paper pack, and it's called Country Woods, and it's just, I mean, look at all this. It's just beautiful paper. So I'm going to be using it for some home remodeling today that my husband and I have done. We remodeled a bathroom in our Arizona home. This was the last home before the one that we're in that we remodeled. And I've just made some small pictures of the process as we went through it, just so he and I could remember, you know, the befores and the afters. And of course, you know, got to have some goofy shots in there too. So let me get my table pulled out with all my different things I'm going to use, and we'll be right back after the intro. All right, I've got my Versamat back out. I'm going to be today working on Candy Apple Red and some black cardstock. On the screen at the bottom, I will put what's comparable to the Candy Apple cardstock, because this is the color from Stampin' Up, from Stampin' Up. I've got to get over that, from Close to My Heart. So I'll list the comparable paper color at the bottom of the screen. And I've cut this black down by 1/4 of an inch on each side. So let me get this taped up. And another reason why I love these Versamats, I'm so hoping that Stampin' Up carries these, because everyone should have these. Because I'm lining it up at each of the 4 points just to make sure that we've got it straight and even on all sides. Then what I've done is I used an old die cut from Close to My Heart, and this one is called a 3x3 photo frame. So I've used that, and I've cut these out of the Country Wood paper. And what I wanted to explain too is there's definitely a wood grain in this paper, the paper that I've chosen. So when you're cutting something out like this, that the print is directional, you want to make sure that the paper and the die cut are going the same direction, because I did accidentally cut one of these that wasn't in the right direction. Now I'm going to bring in my intense black ink and one of my daubers here. And let me put this over on my right side so I don't get ink everywhere. And I'm just going to ink up the sides here just to give it a little bit of definition. It's going to be sitting on this black here, but I'll just show you the one of these, and then I will go off screen and do the rest. But I wanted to show you these little brushes that I used for the inside of this. I think I've shown this to you before. I'll put this on the screen down below in the description so you know where to get these if you would like to get them. And I wanted this black on the center so it would just kind of frame my pictures a little bit more. And I'm wanting more of a rustic feel on these pictures because of the whole remodeling DIY type thing that we had going on. It'll take away some of that, you know, the white. It does it just a little. Let me bring in this one just a little bit more. I guess you could use both of these on here, obviously. Okay, so let me go off screen and get the rest of these done. Okay, I finished taping down some of these things. I think I want to get a little bit of a pucker in this one. Let me make sure my glue is flowing here. So what I have done is when I cut out these frames and I inked them up, as we talked about, with my intense black ink. And again, I'll put inks that are comparable in Stampin' Up down below this video. But I've come in and I've taken some 1/2 inch strips by 3 inch strips out of just some white cardstock And then I've come through with my label paper, which, as you know, I get these from Labels Online or Online Labels. So here's the information if you need it. I love this company. They're incredible, and the product is very inexpensive. So I've gone ahead and I've cut these out, and I'm inking them up on the sides because I just want them to look a little bit more, oh, what's the word? Rustic. Not so perfect. Let's do that. I guess rustic is a good explanation. I'm trying to avoid my fingers. So I've done that. Let me close this up. And I'm going to take this. This is my label paper. And I'm going to come in with it. And bear with me. My nails look red. I've been playing around in some red ink, which we're going to talk about next. Okay, here we go. So you can see that this is clear. And I always take these, I've learned, these are my reverse tweezers. And I'm going to get this as centered as best I can. And then just make sure you burnish it down so there's no bubbles. And you can barely even tell that that's there. I put this on a little crooked. I've got a little bit hanging over. Okay, so right here I had made a boo-boo and I forgot that I had my white labels or my titles cut out. So I put one down there by mistake, and obviously you can't see that. Anyways, what I started to say, I believe, is when you cut out something like this on this particular paper, just know that there are like variations in the paper. So like here you have more of a white tone, here you have some more dark. So I made sure I spread them out before I attached the photos to the back side of them, just so it's spread out evenly. So let me put this one down. And we're going to talk about this stamp set here in a minute. And I don't have that one either. Let's see. Let's move it over just a little. Okay. So let's talk about the stamp set real quick, because it kind of threw me for a loop because I'm not used to Stampin' Up stamps. So again, it's the Trusty Tools set. And with all of my dies, whenever I dies and stamps, when I get them, the C that I mark here on the front of them is that I know they've been in my computer. I've put them into my my indexing. So whenever I say, okay, I want something with the word dad on it, I can just type in dad into my computer and it'll pull it all up. I'll be doing a video about that real soon. I just haven't gotten to it. Just so you all know, it's just a trusty tool. I just love it. Then on the inside of my cases, I've been putting how many dies are there, because the dies don't necessarily match up with how many things are here. And you'll see what I mean here in a minute. And then I have ordered all of these 5x7 magnetic sheets because I wanted all my dies and my stamps to all be together in a set. And this one's kind of unusual because there's so many pieces to it. So I have two in here for all these pieces. And let me pull out a few things so you can see what I mean here. Let's see. Bear with me, I'm over here pulling some stuff out. Okay. So what's the best way to do this? I've attached these to the back here because you can see on here, this is separate, but the pictures are on in there. So let me pull these dies out and let's open this back up for a minute. And I'm gonna get out some ink. Let's work with the black ink first. And I've got an inexpensive piece of cardstock here. Let me cut this in half. I think it would be easier to work with. And I'm gonna walk through these dies and stamps with you. So this right here is this, and this, and I'm spreading these out over here on my left side. You can't really see it very well. This and this are that, and then there's that, which is this. And there's nothing there to tell you what it is. You just kind of have to play around with it. This, when you cut it, it's hard to explain. You can kind of see how it's cut there. You can cut this off and do something different if you want. And you can also do the same thing with this. You can see there's a cut there. Because of Close to My Heart's cardstock is two-toned, I turned it over and did a different tone on this one just to give it some contrast. This is supposed to be like the battery pack. I did use black at once and it was just too harsh. Then I inked up all the sides with my candy apple. Let me turn this around and get it in shot. I did the drill bit and this button here in a foiled silver I have that has texture on it. If I can find some online, because it's kind of unusual, I will put it down below. So those are the three pieces that go with that, and there is no stamp. It's just that. So there's that. I'm gonna put these all in a stack over here. This, let me see if I can find the piece of this. I can't find it right here for some reason. This is like if you were to have a pegboard out in your garage and you could hang tools from it. This would be great for a card front. I chose not to use this on my, my scrapbook pages today. So that's what that is. This and this are a little deceiving, and I'm gonna try and find the piece to it. That is what this is. So they could be shears, they could be anything you want to say they are. These are the handles. So those are those right there. Let me get this one out so there's no confusion. These are the little cutters. And again, I've used my candy apple on these, and on these I've used my cardstock that is it's embossed, like a design on it. So that's what that one is. Then you have a hammer, and there is a die, or not a die, there is a die too. There is a stamp that goes on here, and what I've done is I've got my tricolor blenders on here, and I'm sure that there's something that I'll find through Stampin' Up that'll be comparable. I did that at the top. Then on the bottom here, let's see, where is it? Bear with me just a moment. There is this the right one? Yes. There is a stamp, so it's just an interior stamp that you use to stamp the center of this with color. So that's what I did with that. So that makes your hammer. There is also this piece, which I did die cut it once, but I think I got rid of it. And you can go through and make this like out of a silver foil if you wanted to, like I've done here. I did that, I just didn't care for the look, so I did not use that. So I've just used the die. I've used my ink on the gray or my tricolor marker, and I've stamped the red, which is candy apple, for the base of that. So there is that. Put that one away. Then we have a wrench. And the wrench is exactly the same thing that I explained with the top of this. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so with this one, there is a top to it. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So it's like the hammer. So there's a die, there's a stamp first, and then you can come in and you use one of these. Is it this one? Yeah. This is the one that you can stamp the red in. Then, so I stamped it first in black. Then I came in with my tricolor marker and I used it on the top. And this is the one I used for gray, and it's actually called Vintage Blue Blend, but can't even get them anymore. So If you have them, great. If not, I'll list one down below. So you can cut the head of this out, the top of it, in a silver foil if you wanted to. I chose again not to do it. I stamped the red, I inked the gray, and then I just die cut it in that. So there is that. Then you saw the screwdrivers, or is this a wrench? I don't know, guys. That's my husband's field. And then we have paintbrushes. I'm over here pulling out stuff I've stamped. So here is a tape measure. I've gone ahead and stamped this again. Then to stamp the red portion of this, there is a stamp to do that. There's actually a die cut, and it was very confusing for me to begin with as to what this little piece, see that? See if you can see it. There you go. What that was. At first I thought it was the handle to this drill bit over here, or to the drill. It actually is the silver part to the tape measure. So that's what that one is. So we'll put that one back. And then the paintbrush was so fun. I loved it. So paintbrush, again, I decided to stamp it. Then there is a handle portion on the red part to ink that up. Then you can either do, bear with me just a little. I am missing a piece. That's not good. I'm gonna have to find that. So you can come in, there is a piece where, oh, I know where it is, what you can do here, I'm sorry. Okay, so I stamped it in black. I came in with a red on the handle. Then there's this little tiny stamp, and that you can do in red to look like you've dipped your paintbrush in red or whatever color you'd like. This is a die where you can cut this out and completely make that all of the bristles on the brush. So that's very fun. So there's that. And I think there's one more in here we haven't talked about. And it's the same kind of thing that we've done before. Let's see, I'm gonna put these away. Again, so I don't lose pieces. So I've stamped this out. This is my stamp for that, pretty self-explanatory, a pencil. And then I have come in with this stamp and filled in the red. So there are some pieces that have stamps, some that don't. They all have dies. There's one other thing. This is something I think I'm gonna have to redo because I did something I didn't care for. This and this and this all make like a toolbox, or you could line this up and make the whole, you know, the large toolboxes that there are in the garage that are a lot of times red. I've also seen them in pink lately. And these silver bars are supposed to be the drawers, the drawer pulls. This right here is the handle if you just want to make it a toolbox. That's what that is. So I'm going to use these all on the first page here that you've seen me put together. And I might put some music on while I put this together, and we'll see what we come up with. So here we go. sorry I had to come in and out of the video there. I ran out of glue in my little bottles that I use. They're just easier for my hands to use, so I had to go fill that up. I was running dry. So I think I failed to mention, oops. I covered up my word there. Okay, let's hope that holds. I probably ripped that in there. I failed to mention before, I think, that I put these pictures in the order in which the work was done on the shower. So that's why this order was important to me. So I put down the pictures and then I placed the different pieces of this wood paper where I wanted it to be. Then I had brought these, I'd cut these out on Cricut, these little push pins, and I thought they might be cute, but I'm just thinking it's, you know, less is more, and I'm thinking less is more here. So I'm gonna hold those off. I can always add them, but I can't take them away very easily. So that is page 1. So I'm gonna move on to page 2, which should be a little bit easier. We are going to add the after picture. So I'm gonna do kind of the opposite on this page. So we're gonna use the darker side of this. I always have to double check. Okay, so this is the darker side. And then I am bringing in, because I'm kind of making this, you know, more of the, hey, we're done, yay, this is the big picture, it's all done. So what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna glue this down, and you kind of have to be careful with the glue on, this is kind of going, this is the rough and ready page over there, and this is more the glitzy, hey, we're done. So I brought in some glitter paper. So to attach that, as I got started talking about that, we have to be a little bit more mindful of what we use to attach this. So I am going to use some liquid glue. So let me put this off to the side, and let me bring this in, and it's kind of like it's a one and done. So you better be real happy with what you got down here. So I'm going to be real careful about looking at the margins. And again, I don't ever pretend to be perfect. But let's see if I can get this lined up okay. We have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. I'm happy with that. All right, what I've done is I've come in, but I've reversed the papers on this side. So I've got black on the bottom, I've got red on the top, which is the candy apple red. And this is the after picture. And I've printed it with a white border, and then I've come in with some black glitter paper. And this is kind of be like my ta-da, as my granddaughter and I would call it, of the bathroom completed. I've cut out some words out of Cricut. And let me see if I can find all the pieces here. There's one. Such little pieces, you gotta be careful, right? Let me find them all and I'll be right back. All right, so that word is gonna go up there. Then I cut out this spotlight. And what I've done is I've come in with some vellum, and I just hand cut this to go behind here. And I wanna kind of put it in there like that. I'm gonna be cutting some of the top of it off. I think you can see that up there. I don't want it to come down any farther. I might even have to cut it off further. I wanted the vellum to look like when you have a spotlight at a show and they've got filters on there. And then I'm gonna come in with some, let me see if I can find them in here. I'm gonna come in with some things like this, which are like streams of light coming into it. And then I should also say that I've inked up as best I can to the whites of the sides of the black because it has a white core. So I've got that going on. Then what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna take this piece of paper just to carry over from the other side. And what I wanna do is make this about 6 inches high, and I'm gonna tuck this under. And what's gonna end up happening is I've got, here's some vellum. I've typed out basically the title, so maybe not on that one. Let me see. Here it is. The other one had cut this off. I'm gonna rip the sides to make it a little bit more rustic, even though this is a more formal page. I've tried it out before and I really liked the look. So let me get some of this done and I'll put you guys on fast forward on what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make it shorter than I had originally thought. I think I need to take off a little bit more. Okay, now I need this piece, which is our wood paper again. And I'm just going to do this the real scientific way. Don't you guys love it? Okay. Okay, let's see what we come up with here. I'm going to take a little bit more off of this side because we're going to be tucking this underneath. Okay, I'm gonna tear this, and for more of a controlled tear, you wanna tear toward yourself. And this paper does have a white core to it. So I think I have a little bit of black ink left on here. I need more. Just wanted to bring this paper over to this side. Ink up this and this. This other side is going to be tucked underneath. So we're going to put that on there like that. And this will be underneath. I'm going to put this at the bottom, I think. Let's see. Let's see what we can make this look like. I'm going to tear some of this too. I'm taking a chance here, guys, living on the wild side. I like that. So I'm gonna put some glue here, put some glue there. I'm gonna slip this underneath here. See if I can make this straight. Put some glue on here just to hold this down. So this is basically just the title of that it's a shower remodel, that it was done in 2021, and it was done in our house in Arizona. Just so we have a title and what year it was, that kind of thing. So I think I'm about ready to call this done. So let me pull in the pages without the Versamats on them so you can get a true coloring. Oh, I've got to take one part off here. While I'm cutting this off, what I wanted to remind you all is, even though I've changed companies, I'm still going to be doing my monthly giveaway. And the way that you partake in that giveaway is just to leave, first of all, subscribe, then leave a comment below, and subscribe, comment. There was one other thing. Hit the like bell. There you go. And then once a month, I make a drawing and send out a free die and stamp set. So that comes to, gosh, it could be anywhere from $30 to $50, anything like that. So it's worth doing. So here we go. So here are the 2 pages done up. So here we have the DIY portion of it and how the process was done. Over here, I forgot to mention that almost always on my titles, I will make them 3 layers deep. So I'll cut this out 3 times and put them together. This was done with just these rays of light is what I intended it to be. This was done with just a plain silver foil paper. This is some vellum down here, and here is the wood paper. And the vellum and the wood I've just ripped, and then on the wood I've inked up the sides of it just to make it stand out a little bit more. And we went over all the tools and everything. So there you go. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I love to hear from you all. It just makes my day to read the comments. And again, thank you for your patience while my husband and I have been recovering. And look forward to seeing and talking with all of you soon. Bye-bye.